Join us today as we look at the power of sacrificial branch growing here. Welcome back, everybody. Here's like one of my trident shohin we've seen in previous years. And I get a lot of questions: why do I have this shohin with this almost 3-foot like long top growth, or what we call whip? Okay, and what I'm doing here is what we call sacrificial branch growth. I'm growing this branch out to do a couple things. First thing is to thicken everything below that growth spot. Okay, so every time these guys gain a annual ring, everything below it gets a little thicker. So that's one way. The other thing I'm trying to do is to heal previous wounds. Trying to heal previous wounds. So we're going to do a couple things at the same time. So if I let this kind of growth take off for about 1 or 2 years, especially the top growth, everything below it will start healing or filling in and growing thicker girth-wise as they go. So this technique is used in a couple ways. So number one, if you need to add girth, thicken the trunk, this is one way. And if you need to heal a wound or a cut branch, that's another way. Okay? And you can use this technique on deciduous or on coniferous material. So let me show you another sacrificial branch. Okay, and this is my lovely, ignore the background there, I'm just cleaning my yard really quick. This is a Chinese elm I got a good 5-6 years ago. I repotted it. I'm gonna do is, well, you notice, you see this branch right here I grew from the very back here? That's this leader I have here, on the back leader there. That's going easily 5 feet out in growth. I'm gonna cut it this year. Okay, actually I'm gonna cut it pretty soon here. What it has done, excuse me, my irrigation system here. Okay. What I've done is basically that back growth, that one branch, it's feeding this bottom here. So everything below it is fattening up. And you can see that this has been on for about 3 years now. Usually about the 3rd year, 4th year, I cut them off. That's when they kind of get that final girth. And you can see that it's that width. I used that reverse taper. This width has grown. And you can see there's multiple sacrificial branches in that bottom area to cause that. Eventually this will be a ground layer and this will be a smaller tree. But yeah, that's again another power of using sacrificial branch growth here. This is to thicken basically this is to thicken that lower trunk area so I don't get a reverse taper. So again, another way to use sacrificial branch growth, thickening trunks in this case to get some better taper. And sometimes it's to heal wounds. Let me see if I can get you guys this one. You seen that trident about 2 years ago when I defoliated in early April. I think it's 2020, or 2021. If you look carefully now, this was that sacrificial branch. You know, I said let it go. I'm gonna cut it basically in about a couple days from now. I'm gonna cut that here, cauterize it basically, and then what have done, everything that's grown below it has thickened up. And remember that wound? Let me see if I can get to it. There's a wound in here. I'm not sure we can get to it. I'll try. Oh, there you go. You can see it. See that wound there, right there? That used to be as wide as that area. And it's finally closed up. You can see that it's finally closed up pretty well. It only has about maybe 1.5 inches, about maybe a 1/2 inch in width here. This should close up this year. That's the whole point of growing this entire top. This entire top is really to close that one wound up. Once that wound gets almost closed, I'm gonna start cutting off this middle section to start my new leader and then regrow that top section off. Right now, I don't have a really good leader section in this section. I might have to do a thread graft to make a new leader and then regrow my top from there. That's an option maybe later on. Okay, so again, sacrificial branches have multiple purposes. Here's another one. This was dug from the ground as experiment. It was a clump. And then the sacrificial branches, basically it's all the new branches are growing. I'm gonna let it grow one more year to heal the bottom, because it was a collected tree. I'll heal the bottom, get some more fine roots, and then I'll cut the top again to regrow the top. So again, it's just ways to thicken the trunk. If you want the secret thickening trunk, this is one way of doing it. Okay. And last but not least, Michael Roberts' technique of growing big trees in a short period of time, of course, is letting them run. Okay, so if you let that guy run, look how thick this guy used to be, like this tall, this length, about maybe about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. All the corking up. I'm ready to cut this guy back, let a new leader take off, and that again is just to thicken this whole tree up. So I get this continuous taper on trees. All right. Again, other trees are, I basically grow most of my deciduous trees this way. Michael Robert does it the same way. Lindsay Shiba does it the same way. And it's a technique to really thicken your trunk and to heal wounds pretty simply. Okay. I hope you guys like this really short video about sacrificial branch growth. I think it's kind of important. It was eye-opening when I first heard about it and tried it. And it really works, and it's really simple to just let it grow out. I think the take-home lesson here, it's really about the first to second year to third year growth. It's really where you get the maximum benefit of that sacrificial branch. And after about the third, fourth year, it actually doesn't thicken up, girth up as much as quickly. So that's kind of when you start thinking, I need to cut this off and start healing it. So something for you to think about. Experiment, try it out. If you guys watched the video so far, thank you for support. I really enjoy it. Producing videos, especially when now school's out, or really close to being out. And then if you guys like the video, leave a comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for everything, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.